What did Hambali say about the prohibited times? They said qada salah of fard. Qada is allowed at all time. What's their view? Because if there is a hadith of prohibition, can you switch off that one? So they said qada salah is allowed all the time, anytime. There is no prohibition for qada salah. Because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said in one hadith, "Man nama an salatin aw nasiyaha falyusalliha idha dhakaraha." Idha dhakaraha. Whoever slept or he forgot about salah, he should pray it when he remembers it. There is no exception to that. Because of this hadith, they said that hadith earlier we started with prohibitions. This is an exception. So when the fard salah is an exception. They say the 2 rak'at of the tawaf is in Mecca, the 2 rak'at after tawaf is excluded from the prohibition. And that dalil for this one is no different than Shafi's dalil. Because the status of Mecca and so on. Yeah. What about Salat al-Janaza? Salat al-Janaza, they say the 3, 1, 2 and 3. The 1, 2 and 3, remember? Sunrise, midday and sunset. They say no Salat al-Janaza in these few minutes. That's prohibited. But 4 and 5, like other madhaib, they say you may do Salat al-Janaza. Yeah? Remember what 4 and 5 is? Once you pray Asr, you can pray Janaza. When you pray Fajr, you can pray Janaza. And you can bury your dead at that time. Yeah? When you say pray Janaza, mean you can bury your dead as well. And why do they say that? Because the hadith said ثلاث ساعات كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ينهانا أن نصلي فيهن أو أن نقبر فيهن موتانا. So that's 3. They said the 4 and 5, our point 4 and 5 is not included in that. Clear? Clear? Yeah. Okay. Also, the Hanabila, they said that if you have to repeat the salah, to repeat salah is allowed if you find congregation in masjid. What does that mean? You prayed your fard. You come to masjid and congregation is taking place. You may join it, even though that's going to be nafil for you. What's the proof for that? Yazid bin al-Aswad, he said, we prayed Fajr with Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We finished, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when we finished, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said to 2 men who did not pray with us. He said, what stopped you from joining us? They said we prayed in the way. Because they didn't have time, clocks that time. They saw Fajr time, they said we might miss. They prayed. And when they reached Medina, they came, they found the salah is taking place. And they knew about the prohibition. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told them, don't do that. If you pray in the way and come to masjid and find a congregation, then join it, and that would be nafil for you. So even though there is prohibition, but if you come to masjid and you find congregation, and you may join. You may use that later on for Tahiyatul Masjid as well. You may not pray Tahiyatul Masjid because he didn't tell them that you should pray Tahiyatul Masjid. But that's a complete different issue. Inshallah, we'll get there. But make a note for it.
So when you go to mosque and you see the congregation, you should always join.
Always, even if you have prayed. Yeah?
Even a small congregation, 3 people.
La akhi, the main congregation. Hanafi says there is only one congregation. That one counts. The second one doesn't count. Third one doesn't count. They say in one place one congregation. What's their proof? They say Imam Abu Hanifa said, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, I wish that I should make someone imam, gather someone, tell people to gather wood and call out for azan to be called out, and get someone to lead salah, and then those who don't come for salah burn their houses on them. In English, so Imam Abu Hanifa said there was one. If you don't come to one salah, that's it. Why would Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam burn their houses or not call them for second salah? There is no second salah. It's a one salah. But that's Hanafi view. But in that's a very strict view. I think even Hanafis, if they come late, they do. If there are other halls or other part of the hall, and there are enough proof from the hadith that you can join. There are plenty of proof from hadith that you can do second jama'ah, but maybe this is for emphasis, to emphasize the importance. No, sometimes there is an emphasis, shouldn't be confused with ruling of it. Allahu alam. But whoever takes from the hadith is taken from hadith according to the understanding. So where did we stop? Joining the prayer, if you come and you already prayed, join the congregation, that's an exception. That's an exception for which point? 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5? You think congregation will be taking place in the time 1, 2, 3? 4, 5, obviously, yeah. Okay. Hanabila, they said sajda tilawa, sajda of shukr, sunnah of wudu, qada of sunnah, tahiyatul masjid, sunnah of wudu, not allowed due to general prohibition in the first two hadith we done. Okay, exceptions are what we said earlier. All the other nafil and sunnahs, they say that's due, there's general prohibition, so they are more like Hanafis in that. Yeah, where Shafis they say
future.
Past or future, exactly. So they have a different methodology. But Hanabila, they do allow tahiyatul masjid. Sorry, they allow tahiyatul masjid for Jum'ah. If he enters masjid and Imam is doing khutbah, they said you can pray tahiyatul masjid. Who allows that? Hanabila. Because there is a hadith that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam naha an salati nisf an-nahar illa yawm al-jum'ah. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam prohibited to pray just before zawal, when the sun reaches midpoint in the horizon, except for the day of Jumu'ah. This hadith wording is da'if, okay, but there is sahih hadith on the matter. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, إذا جاء أحدكم يوم الجمعة إذا جاء أحدكم يوم الجمعة, if one of you comes on the day of Jumu'ah, والإمام يخطب, and he finds that Imam is doing khutbah, فليركع ركعتين وليتجوز فيهما. And that's Sahih Hadith. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, if you find the Imam is doing khutbah, then you should pray 2 rakats quickly. Make him short. What does that mean? That means you should pray. So those who say Tahiyatul Masjid, because the dispute in Tahiyatul Masjid is massive from early days. There are 2 groups. The group which says it's wajib, then they take this hadith, they said okay, it's wajib, then you must pray, and that's the lead. And the group which says no, it's nafil, it's optional, then you don't have to take the optional, because listening to the khutbah is wajib. Now you have optional against sunnah against wajib, or you have nafil against wajib. Which one do you do? You do wajib, but here is wajib against wajib. So you can do wajib. You do both wajibs, one quickly, one. So we will. Sometimes what happens is in our Jumu'ah as well. Someone comes and he starts doing 2 rakats, and no one's listening to khutbah anymore, and everyone's staring at him. Let people do. If that's his madhab, if you live in England, especially if you live in England, you don't live in Pakistan, you don't live in maybe Algeria, or you live in a country where people have many different backgrounds. That's why you have to understand all the views. If you are in Pakistan and you learn only Hanafi fiqh and you live in a village there is no one but Hanafis, fair enough, learn Hanafi fiqh and you'll be fine. But if you live in England and you find people from every culture, it's very important to have at least some exposure to the other views, then you don't have collision with people for no reason. We done? Prohibited time, everyone understand? Yeah?